Wow, it's a snowy Wednesday morning. Good Lord, we got a little bit more snow I thought we'd get. And this is a wet snow. Wow, hey. Good Wednesday morning there. Welcome to Ice Age TV. It is the Ice Age. My channel name is appropriate for the conditions that you're looking at. It's snowy, and it's still snowing, but it's kind of like a wet type of, misting right now. So that then the snow feels very wet. Good snowball weather. Good make a snowman weather as we trudge over here. We sleigh through the snow to get to the house to get the other troublemakers here on the Ice Age TV morning conversations. So let's get the dogs in the house and get the others all riled up. And I wonder how Prince Boy is doing this morning, which we'll kind of get the status on that here in a second. And it is rather cold and chilly, but it is the winter months, the February doldrums. So let's see who is waiting for us right here. And, there they are. Somebody got into the towels. So we got the cereal. That's a disaster. No, stop it. Somebody's eating my cereal. Isn't that something? It's these dogs. No. Come on, Scout. Get away. Come on, puppers. All right, there is Princey Boy. Watch out, pups. Don't hurt Prince. Okay, come on. Let's get on out here. Get into the snow. Okay, get going. And let's get Princey Boy. Ooh, look at Princey Boy. Kind of hobbling along right there, but that's encouraging, isn't it? I can only hope he doesn't have that German Shepherd rear hip issues, which they're notorious for that. All right, everybody, let's get the morning going here. It's funny, somebody watched my short last night of all the puppies crashed in the barn, and this one person was mad. It's like, this really irritates the heck out of me because I see all these dogs in this barn, and these people have their dogs sleep out in the barn. They're mean people. I was like, oh my gosh, you're clueless. Yeah, so as a shorty video, this person came to instant conclusion that I make my dogs suffer living in the barn. That just shows you, hey, stay over here, Ginger. No, Ginger, stay over here. Stay over here, Ginger. That just goes to show you. Stay over here, Ginger. My neighbor's walking his dog down the street right now, and if Ginger gets him over that far, it's going to be a shit show. No, come here, Ginger. 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 So, yeah, she is wound up, isn't she? Yep, she's wound up. That little girl, I've cut back on the feeding of Ginger and Scout, and they're totally different dogs. I mean, are you seeing this? I mean, Ginger is all out. I mean, she is all out. She is back here running around like a little puppy dog. I mean, look at this here. Come on, Puss, get in the barn. I mean, I guess she's going all around the barn. I can't even keep track of where she went off to. I mean, it was such incredible. Hey there, Prince. So, yeah, no doubt concerning, that's something I said, that Prince was like the last picked dog of that litter, per se. And I wonder if other people kind of saw he has a lazy back end, and I saw it too. When I got that dog, I honestly did say to myself, man, I hope this dog, when he gets older, doesn't have that rear hip challenge, because it is a big, big problem in German Shepherds. And we never have had a German Shepherd now more than a year and a half old, so we haven't been exposed to that. And I see all the dogs. It doesn't really matter today because there ain't people driving up down the road going 50 miles an hour through my neighborhood as they cut through I have a cut through in my neighborhood where people can avoid following somebody. Then they cut through my neighborhood at 50 miles an hour to beat them down at the stop sign and get in front of them. She has to go up the road and be stuck behind somebody else. So here's Ginger. Look at this here. So Ginger's having a great old time this morning by getting the pack of dogs. Like she's the entertainment. She is the whole focus, and she's taking advantage of it while she's running these three other puppies around, and she's having a blast. I mean, look at this. Is this funny or what, everybody? I mean, she really is having a great time, so I'm just going to kind of let them have that fun doing that there. I wonder how these boots, I got two sets of boots. I wonder how these boots hold up versus my other boots on staying warm. Because I think the other boots are a little bigger, a little more clunky to wear. And so these are more enjoyable, but I may have to go back to the big boots just because I can already kind of tell that my feet are getting a little cold this quickly, per se. Yeah, so here we are, trying to get the dogs all round up. Come on, pups, you guys hungry? You guys hungry? Come on. You didn't really have much yesterday afternoon. The dogs got into all the damn treats yesterday. So these guys had a lot to eat. And you know what? It showed last night in the camper because it wasn't the most pretty sight. There's Ginger. Soldiers, hey, come on, Ginger baby. Come on, let's go. You lost all your buddies. All right, so let's get in here and get the dogs fed. But yeah, I made a little video last night of all the dogs sleeping right here. It was a shorty video, and instantly somebody called it out. That just shows you how fast people see something. And you know, social media, it's the news. All it takes is a little 10 seconds of seeing something, and you come to closure of what you know. Come on, let's go, come on. Come on, let's go, get in. Come on, Ginger, good girl. Hey, she did a good time. All right, get up there, come on. So watch out. So, but I was saying earlier, I really cut back on the food on Ginger and Scout, and they really have gotten better. Scout's eyes look so much better, too. Hey, stop it. All right, so now, let's get these guys fed. Hold on. All right. You know, the other night, I cleaned up my Dodge Challenger Gold Rush. This is such a great car. It really is. It really cleaned up well with that Griot's Speed Shine. Wasn't do the Mustang, but I just petered out. You need to do the Camaro because it's so cold. Come on, Prince. Come on back here. Get some food, buddy. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, come on. I can get you more food. I can get you more food here. So you guys are eating some, but a little bit more. Here you go. There you go. Oh, there you go. There you go. There over there. Go over there. You got plenty over there. No. Hey, Gypsy. Gypsy, don't do that. Gypsy, you're trying to be the... Yeah. Come on, Gypsy, stop it. Poor Princey boy. Getting muscled around, right? So, yeah, so here we are on the Wednesday morning conversations and all that delightful stuff, you know, and all it's been about is Elon Musk and Donald Trump and the craziness of the world we live in more than ever. And if it doesn't aggravate you of what we're witnessing with this Democratic Party, I feel sorry for you because the Democratic Party, they're definitely showing their full face of how bad they are. But like I say, the strong Democratic supporter is going to say that I'm a whack job and that I've bought in to the gig of all the lying that Elon Musk has brought to the table. Which you have to say to yourself, what is Elon Musk getting out of this besides losing the value of his wealth? This is going to hurt his wealth, everybody. It really is. His stocks are going down because people are starting not to like him because of how he's exposing how corrupt our government is. So you have to say to the person, argue with me, be like, but why is Elon Musk doing this? What is he doesn't need any of this government type of work. He's fine. So why is he so entailed and so motivated to share on how corrupt our government is? And it's both sides of the party, so don't get me wrong. The GOP is just as much fault as the Democratic Party all day long. But the thing is, the Democratic Party is the most radical right now, getting out in the streets and calling it a constitutional crisis. Yes, every memo, so the DNC, or Obama put a notice out to everybody, hey, every sitting Democratic senator, you have to get in the streets and start yelling constitutional crisis. You have to get people riled up. We got to shut these people down because they're exposing us way too much, and our entitlement of abusing the taxpayers' monies are being shown to the taxpayers of this country, but we have to convince them that it's a big lie, and it's Donald Trump back in office that just lies all the time, and he's a convict, he's a felon, and he's just going to enrich himself and hurt all the other people as he shuts down the government monies. I mean, that's all it's going to be. That's all it's going to be, where they're going to try to convince you that this is all just a farce. That's all it is. It's just a circus. It's just a show to show that Donald Trump has powers to do whatever the hell he wants to do, and Elon Musk can have fun trying to make fun of the political party that he used to support. So, for the record, everybody, Elon Musk voted for Joe Biden. For the record, everybody, Elon Musk stood in a line for 8 hours at the White House to shake Barack Obama's hand. For the record, Elon Musk was a huge Democratic supporter. What happened? What happened? I mean, why did he change? I mean, come on. If you have something, I mean, like me, I love the Honda product. I've always have enjoyed the Honda product. Why would I go from loving the Honda product throughout my life, liking the Japanese-made things, to all of a sudden, I don't like the Honda product? Why would I do that? Why would I change? Well, you know why you would change. It would be because of Honda started making crap. If Honda started abusing the privilege of them having the recognition of a name of a product, but it really truly was just crap. Isn't that kind of how it works out in life? Is if you have a love for something and you stand behind it, but then as time progresses, the love fades because the product you love has changed and they just abuse you and they brainwash you to think they have the better product. When at the end of the day, they've lost that. Well, that's the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party truly has lost its way. It really has. I mean, I wish somebody out there on my channel would email, or you could email me at icehtvcomments@gmail.com, but I wish somebody out there would have a comment out there if it shows up. Last night, Gail is going on and on about how the comments aren't showing up. I even had somebody mention that last night. The comments aren't showing up on YouTube. Something happened yesterday where people are posting comments, but you don't see the comments. Not just my channel, lots of channels. Even the channel for showing Elon Musk in the office, White House with Donald Trump, trying to explain the intentions of this Department of Government Efficiency is trying to help the consumers, the citizens, the constituents of our country that pay into taxes, that he's trying to right the ship and reinforce that the will of our country will be far better off if you continue to support our country, pay your taxes, and we make sure the tax monies are being used appropriately for the way they were scripted to be used. But that won't go anywhere. The Democratic Party will just say, that's just a smoke show, everybody. They're intentionally taking your money to harm you, to control you. Wow. Yes, once again, what good job there, Princey boy. What is the underlying goal, motive, and what is the Democratic Party's position? And what we see, and I think most people that watch my channel see, the Democratic Party seems not to really favor the citizens and constituents of this country. The black community really is starting to see the light on how corrupt the Democratic Party is. And I said this during the last election, that this all fighting for the black man, it ain't going to happen. You're going to get kicked to the curb. You're going to be run over by the bus. And did it happen? It sure did. Back in 2020, I was talking about, among my friends and forums, on how the black community is going to witness the masters of deception that are going to take away all the privileges you thought you had, but they're going to pound their fist as a Democratic person and persuade you to believe that they're all wanting to help you, when in the end, who didn't witness the illegals come to this country and getting the favoritism over the black community? In Chicago, people were raising hell about how the illegals have come in and taken all the entitlements, all the subsidies, all the government infrastructure that's gone to the illegals. It's so bad, everybody. It really is. So, for me as an individual, I've talked about this now since last week, this week, I just know the ramp up of the corrupt political senators to be in our country, and congressmen, and in general, the political party and the people behind the political party that aren't necessarily sitting in office anymore, they're going to ramp up the idea that this is a bunch of lies, that Elon Musk is creating harm in our country, and he's taking away the monies that others need from his actions of getting into the government books, and that he's a terrible person, and it's just none of this needs to happen, that the government's fine the way it is. He doesn't need to go in and start revamping and cutting. I mean, this is where it is, and the Democratic Party will succeed at convincing probably a third to half the people in this country that this is factual, that this is all a bunch of baloney, that this is just a coup of Elon Musk taking over the government in so many ways. Yeah. So, and the reason I bring this up on my morning conversations is because this hasn't happened. This hasn't happened. Anybody said in my morning conversations, I don't like your political talk. I don't care. Don't watch my videos. I don't care. Go somewhere else. Go watch the bikini videos. Go watch the guy doing a wheelie down the road in his motorcycle. Who hasn't seen a guy ride a motorcycle do a wheelie down the road? Who hasn't seen a video of a guy in his Mustang doing a burnout? Who hasn't seen the video of a guy going down the road in a motorcycle 180 miles an hour on a death wish? Who hasn't seen a video of the guy in the car racing his buddy on a roll? I mean, the list goes on. There's a gazillion. Who hasn't seen the girl in her bikini riding a Harley Davidson motorcycle down the street? Blah, 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 blah. Point is, we have never witnessed. There's nobody in my age group has witnessed what we are witnessing right now in our government. And how we are seeing for the first time ever in our lifetime that truly the exposure of the abuse of powers by the Democratic Party taking monies that were not supposed to be allocated, that they took it upon themselves to say that I don't care. I don't care, you guys. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do, and what are you going to do to me? Oh, what are you going to do to me? There ain't nobody going to find me. And this is what's really very, very concerning to me as an individual. You have to really say to yourself now, the Joe Biden Inflation Reduction Act, oh my gosh, wow. I wish Elon Musk would get into the Inflation Reduction Act, a.k.a. the new Green Deal, that AOC, that, whack job lady out of New York. How the hell does that lady have a position? I mean, how the hell do these people have powers to be that are clueless? I mean, they are not competent people, but they get in the government and people support them. How, people? How? So the whole point is, for Elon Musk, I can only hope he gets into the books of the Inflation Reduction Act, where billions and billions of dollars were handed out during his term to hopefully get the ball rolling to transplant all the overseas business manufacturing back to our own backyard. That's totally disappeared. That conversation, I mean, for Donald Trump, he wants to cancel all this damn crap. But the point is, how many people got rich off of just taking money that never completed the task? Where is that conversation? I mean, I can guarantee that's a whole other rabbit hole where for Elon Musk, challenge Elon Musk is he's going to run out of time because it's so bad. It's everywhere in the government that we're seeing this abuse of powers. Now, once again, for me to say that, that's dangerous to say that because it's easy to say things, but it's not so easy to prove things. So there you go. That is what now lies on Elon Musk's desk, along with Donald Trump, is really being able to share with the American people just how bad it is in our country of those that are in power and these agencies that have abused their powers at the taxpayers' expense. And once again, we're hearing it, we think we see it, but at the same time, we have an incredible amount of resistance, of arguments. And that's what I thought I'd call my channel's conversation this morning was arguments. Is that we live more than ever in a bureaucracy, and that's what Elon Musk was saying, that we're now on a bureaucracy like never ever seen of our governing of our country, and the arguing among us is rampant. It's major. It's at the all-time high. Anderson Cooper, this guy's mouthing off on his network on how all this stuff is fake. It's fake. He is telling his viewers, his audience, and how does this guy get away with it? Where this guy will have a long media, get a lot of attention on his media, and be telling people, persuading them that Elon Musk and Donald Trump are whacked out. They're lying to people. This is not factual, and that they're just doing devious things to others to undermine others' well-being and goodwill of our country with the taxpayers' monies that were allocated to do these things. So it's so bad. So what's going on? It's a major argument from the Democratic side to the media side to, in some ways, the Republican side. Look at John Kennedy, the senator. He is out of Louisiana, I think, but he said it. He said it yesterday. He said, "Isn't it interesting on how the Democratic Party is so against for the audit of our own government's agencies, but yet the Joe Biden regime in power, aka Obama, behind the scenes, were more than happy to hire 80,000 additional IRS agents with guns, with gun authority, to come visit you and audit you to try to dig more money out of you." Isn't that interesting? The Democratic Party. Remember, this is factual, everybody. This is not me making a story up. Joe Biden decided to hire 80,000 more IRS agents with the authority to have a gun to come knock on your door and to audit you. But yet now, when the tables have been turned, all these Democratic Party people that are definitely riding off the system, they're screaming bloody murder on how you can't do this to them. And that's what I think is can even be more interesting, which is going to be very challenging for Elon Musk, is he really wants to get into Elizabeth Warren. What's the deal with Elizabeth Warren? Elizabeth Warren on X, I'm drinking my coffee, my throat's dry as all can get, all be, but anyway, so, oh my gosh. Elizabeth Warren, that lady's going off. She's like a mad scientist. This lady is rambling on all day long on X. She is going off. What is going on, everybody? Why is she so riled up? Why wouldn't all these people just sit back? If it all is so fake, why wouldn't you just sit back and let Elon just tarnish himself on his own by showing he gets into all these books, but it's not factual? If you knew that it was all a lie, then why wouldn't you just sit back and watch the lie prevail? So for Elizabeth Warren, oh my gosh, that lady is out of control, running her mouth. And so Elon now, what he said yesterday at the White House is it's time now to try to figure out why Nancy Pelosi, the likes of Chuck Schumer, there's a list of high-profile senators from the Democratic Party, and I'm sure there are some GOP as well, so I don't think this just stays on the Democratic side, but the people mouthing off, I mean, you just go through the list. Why are they so rich off of just not really very big incomes throughout their career being politicians? We all know. We all know because they've all been paid off. It's no secret, I think, to average taxpayer. But what do you do? I mean, in all seriousness, if Elon Musk exposes on how Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, the Pocahontas, if they expose on how they really have made their millions from the donations off the books, separate from their running to be a senator again, what are you going to do? I mean, sincerely, because if it's companies that directly gave them money, how can Elon Musk take that back? It's different if the monies were taken from the tax system. So again, Elon Musk is trying to ramp it up. I tell you, for Elon Musk, man, I don't know. I'm just telling you. I think that guy, I think he should be very concerned because I think we're into the dirtiness into the third world countries where you have these people in these third world countries that have nothing to live for. And if somebody overseas tells somebody, hey, I'm going to do this for you and I'm going to make your family very well off forever if you do this for me. I mean, this stuff goes on. So for Elon Musk, you can only hope this guy has incredible surveillance and protection around him because he's the focal point of what's going on in our country, of exposing all the corruption where all these monies are so dirty and what's going on. And for the key people that have been in positions to allocate the monies have been relinquished of their duties. And do you think they're just going to go home and sit down and not start screaming bloody murder? I mean, you better believe they're going to start screaming bloody murder. Are they going to try to circumvent whatever Elon Musk has done? Are they going to get dirty and nasty? Probably because they lost their entitlement of having a truly a hell of a gig of a job of just handing out the taxpayers' monies with no consequences against them. And probably they were getting shuffled money into the table as well. They probably, behind the scenes, were getting monies paid to allocate money. It's like the lady that just allocated more money to the state of New York that was supposed to be $59 million last week to that more hotel living. And so you have to say to yourself, What did she get out of that? I guarantee you that woman, because she was breaking the law of what she did. So there had to be something in it for her. Most people don't play the game that I go do something that's devious and then it's not a big deal. They want to be part of that ball game, or they get paid off to do it. So that's a whole other case. Oh, it's beyond believable, everybody, of how far and how wide this is going to start to play out. Then you go to the state agencies. Do we have in our own individual states now incredible corruption as well? And to think about all the people in North Carolina that have been suffering down North Carolina under the Joe Biden regime that just basically snubbed their nose, and who gives two craps? It's all the white folk people down there. We don't need to take care of those people, or most of those people are all Trump supporters. Who the hell wants to take care of these freaking mountain people? I mean, they're labeled. Oh, these are people, they're rebels, blah, 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 blah. I mean, come on. I mean, do you think that that's true? Well, why did the Biden administration just totally ignore them? And once again, I don't know. You're just seeing this on media. I can tell you one thing. I've ridden all those roads down there on my motorcycle where those roads are gone. I know that area. There's an area right now that, Sean Duffy or whatever the guy's name is, that's the new Department of Transportation. He has just been, now has given the state of Tennessee the rights, the Army Corps of Engineers, the rights to rebuild this Route 40 area where I've ridden my motorcycle right along that river where it got totally taken out. And apparently they've given the Army Corps of Engineers the rights to go take all this rock. I don't know if this rock is some special rock to fix the whole road. And there's people down there saying that they're seeing now, for the first time ever, construction. The Army Corps of Engineers showing up that is starting to revamp and rebuild these roads and towns that were devastated from back in last, what was it? Was it October or was it September when that all played out? I think it was. So, but once again, what's going on? Why the favoritism to the illegals? Why the favoritism to illegals, like never ever seen in a Democratic Party, of supporting so many, and for the states such as New York want to pass laws that any illegal can vote in the electoral system. How does that work, everybody? How is that acceptable? And now for Eric Adams, what's going on with him? His so-called looking into his dirty money has been, the Department of Justice has kicked it to the curb. Meanwhile, he wants $1.1 billion to be given to him to pay off the hotels to put the illegals in there. I mean, it just, wow, right? Wow. So once again, on my channel, I'm sorry for those out there that want to see me talk about a car all morning long. This is the most intriguing times in my lifetime to witness this government. The country we live in has been exposed like never ever seen, and really what plays out. As I've said many times, really what plays out. What comes back to us as the consumer, as the constituent of this country, what in the end, what comes to us besides can only hope, peace of mind that we have a government that gets its act together on how it's spending the taxpayers' monies and gets things righted, and the monies are allocated for the right things in our country versus the wrong. But at the end of the day, what does it do for you and I? And like I say, I think that's probably about what it's going to do. Does it give us the right to stop paying taxes? Does it give us the right for Donald Trump to put in an act to get rid of the IRS and get rid of this stupid ass tax system and change the tax system? Does it give us the right to have lower taxes? Does it give us the right to get refunds on our taxes for all the monies that were wasted because our government didn't properly allocate them? I don't know. I mean, once again, but the Democratic Party's going to say you're far-fetched, Mr. Iceman, because it's not that radical. Elon Musk has only really uncovered just a few things that were done that weren't supposed to. It'll be a story, everybody. Oh, that woman didn't understand that those monies were supposed to be used somewhere else. And the U.S. aid and our position, the U.S. actions in developing aid and developing foreign countries, whatever. That U.S. aid was benefiting those coming to our country, living in hotel rooms, to help them get a new life and get them their feet on the ground, to get going, get schooled, get a job, and eventually become a citizen of this country. So you're so wrong, Mr. Elon Musk and Mr. Iceman and Mr. Trump. That U.S. aid was being allocated monies for the right reasons to help others coming from dire straits of another country to live in our country at the taxpayer's expense. But it was only temporary, and it was just going to help these people eventually help and pay into the tax system to replace all those taxes spent. Yeah, that's the conversation you're going to hear from the Democratic side of the party. Is oh no, these monies are being used for helping others in other countries because that's what it's designed for. The U.S. aid is to supposedly help other people in other countries and to make it a better world. All right, everybody, that's it. I can talk a lot. Try to keep these things to 30 minutes. But here's what's interesting. The Chevy Blazer, hard to believe. This weekend, everybody, the Daytona 500 is this Sunday, the 16th of February. Wow. Already, Daytona, NASCAR's already back. I'm sure most people have disconnected from NASCAR because, once again, it went too woke and everything else. Now, wait a second. Who is that running? For a minute, I thought that was Gypsy. I was going to say, wow. No. I meant back it up. I meant Prince. It is Gypsy. But here it is. This is very interesting, everybody. I will talk a little car news just so it kind of changes it up from the Dodge, whatever you want to call it. The Chevy Blazer. I wish I would have gotten one. The Chevy Blazer electric vehicle. They have an SS model being released the first quarter of this year. It's like a 615 horsepower, all-wheel drive electric vehicle. That vehicle is being dedicated for the first time ever as the pace car for the Daytona 500. So for the first time ever, NASCAR is going to have an electric vehicle. Can you take it? But I only wish that I could have picked up the SS model because that really is kind of a pretty cool looking Blazer. But what's interesting is there's more to it than that. The reason they're doing this is behind the scenes between the Ford Maverick and the Chevy Blazer, they are looking to possibly bring the electric vehicle NASCAR circuit in a different category, different group of those type of vehicles. So that's kind of the speculation right now, is that NASCAR is going to have a separate circuit. They're not going to eliminate the NASCAR ICE guys, but they're going to add, like they have the Truck Series and the Infinity Series and whatever else, but they're going to add the electric vehicle series, and the Chevy Blazer is going to be one of the vehicles that they use in the Ford Maverick. And I don't know if it'll be something else. No. I don't know if it'll be another manufacturer as well. My good friend, I have a great friend, that I'm not going to mention his name to call him out, but I have a great friend that runs multiple dealerships. And I talked to him yesterday. Oh, this is something I haven't talked about, which I do have to talk about before I wrap it up. The Ford truck, the Black Lightning truck, I can't lemon law it, per se, because I bought that truck used. Oh my gosh, God. Yeah, right. So right now, the Ford called back yesterday, and the guy's not that astute because, first of all, he never even asked me if I bought my car new or used. He just assumed I bought it new. But his position is, Ford's position is, since I bought that Lightning truck in Baltimore, Maryland, and I didn't register it in Maryland, and then I registered in Florida, it does not hinder the guidelines for a lemon law, because I never registered in the state of Maryland. I'm like, wait a second, that makes no sense to me. So I bought the truck in Maryland, and since I bought it in Maryland, that already is a checkbox against me. That's what the guy said, yeah. So I said, so if I put it in registration in Virginia, he's like, it doesn't matter. You never registered in Maryland when you bought it, so that's a check. I'm like, this makes no sense to me. So then I called a good friend of mine, and then he said, since it's for registration, you can't use the Virginia laws. I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I called my good friend, and we started talking about all this. And then it was kind of an eye opener. I thought, you know what? I bought that truck. A guy bought it. He flipped it. I paid the extra money to get it for Joe that used to work for me, and it's used. And so my good friend's like, you're dead in the water, man. I'm like, really? He's like, no, it's used. It's like, you can't lemon law that thing now. So I don't know, everybody. So that's really sad news. So I said, that's going to really be bad because it's probably worth $40,000. And I said, what's really bad, it's probably going to have the records on Carfax that show it's been in the shop now 3 times with battery pack issues. So he did a great favor to me. He looked everything up, and he's like, no, on Carfax, it's not showing what's going on with your truck, but at the Oasis side, which that's the Ford internal side, you can see on a Ford vehicle of all the history of it. He said on the Oasis side, that vehicle does show everything you're talking about. So he said, at auction, if it goes to auction and the guy doesn't have the Oasis capability, then he'll never know the past of the problems of that vehicle, which that's hard for me to believe that the Carfax by that time wouldn't populate it, but I really don't know. But so for the moment, it's a chit show. That truck is going to go to auction, I guarantee you. I'm going to have probably a $40,000 deficiency bill sent to me, and I'm going to be like, tell Ford, pound sand. We're going to go to court over this. That vehicle's a piece of crap. It never ran right, but I don't know. I have to look further into this on the used car 11 laws to find out more about it. But all right, but anyways, so as I wrap it up, is my good friend was managing 2 dealerships, and one of them, I'm not going to name the brand, but the one brand he was managing, the recalls and the problems with the vehicles was so huge that he got out. He couldn't take it anymore. He was just getting yelled at all the time. This is a major brand product, and he just was like, I just couldn't take it anymore. Every day of my life, I went to work, I had to deal with all these unhappy people with these cars that I was managing this dealership with, brand new cars and selling, and the quality of them and the manufacturer standing behind them was terrible. So there it is, everybody. I talked too long. My apologies, but I had to share more stories of the updated Ford Lightning truck, which is just that. Oh my gosh, what a joke. So hey, everybody, God bless. Have a great day.